More firepowers are being expected as the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, meets on Thursday, September the 8th of 2022. Following Senator Iyorchia Ayu's insistence not to resign his position as national chairman of the party, the planned meeting by the National Executive Committee is expected to be a stormy one, as forces for and against Ayu and the party's leadership are said to have an open confrontation at the meeting. As the internal wrangling in the opposition party continues, critics are beginning to wonder how the party will carry out campaigns when eventually the ban is lifted later this month. Joining us now from Asaba, Delta State, is Elder Emmanuel Ogidi, National Vice Chairman, People's Democratic Party, PDP, South-South, on the internal wrangling in the People's Democratic Party. Good morning, Elder Ogidi, and thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Ruben. How are you?
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Well, I just read an opinion in which someone was describing the People's Democratic Party as beginning to look like a house of commotion. I mean, you are one of the leaders of the party, and I guess the gentleman is just saying, look, since the presidential primary, that party has known no peace because one of the aggrieved parties, who some people say has become a deity inside the People's Democratic Party, is insisting that the chairman must go. And the chairman is saying he's not going anywhere. Any hope that this Thursday, that the crisis will be resolved or the commotion will continue?
Well, you see, a PDP, by the name People's Democratic Party, in other words, a party for everybody. So nobody can be a deity, nobody can be a king or whatever. But see, when you join a party, you always talk about the interests. And sometimes your interests may not be attainable. And it's always like that. But as for commotion, it's not commotion, it's just about interest. How can you call that commotion? It's all about interest. But we would like us to look at it this way. Atiku has said it's a unifier. And he is trying very hard to unify the party. But you expect that people want to pull us back. It's natural. Now, what is happening with Governor Wike is natural. Wike is human. He had blood flowing in his vein. You know, he was so sure he was going to win that primaries. And because he has dreamt of it, and he has worked so hard, and he believed that what he has for Nigeria and Nigerians is genuine, is everything. So, but when he didn't get it, frustration has set in. What I mean by that, you know, when you have a desire to deliver on something, and you're not given that opportunity, it's frustrating. And one of the ways that, one of the results of frustration is to transfer aggression. So, there's what's called transfer the aggression now. But Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, is very experienced. So are also the leadership of the party, other members of the party, the leadership. They are very experienced. We understand what is going on. Therefore, we must be very careful. You know, Atiku Abubakar is an elder statesman. As we speak in the party today, he's the leader of the party. Ayu is the national chairman of the party. They have all shown maturity. But it's human. Why am I saying all of these things? Because of my Christian background.
Elder Ogidi, well, sorry to interrupt you. We need to take a quick break, and then we'll come back to you. Please don't go away. When we return, you will continue with your point. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Our guest is still Elder Emmanuel Ogidi, National Vice Chairman of the People's Democratic Party South-South. He's been talking about the internal crisis within the PDP. Elder Emmanuel Ogidi, thank you for staying with us. The audio issue has now been properly sorted out. If you may just continue with your statements about your party and the leadership.
Let me correct something. I'm the former national vice chairman.
Oh, okay.
We have a president national vice chairman. I'm former.
Okay. But you are still an elder within the party.
Like what I'm trying to say, by the grace of God, yes. Ruben, I've been very long in this game. At least as a young man, I joined politics in 1979. So, yes, coming back to the point. The Matthew chapter 5 verse 9 says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." I'm a peacemaker, and I cherish being peaceful. But I can tell you this, all those who expect the house will crumble, the house will never crumble. Because we have an assignment, and that assignment is to rescue Nigeria. And we're doing everything to ensure that we succeed in it. Because if we don't get it right, this suffering we're facing today will be so much that Nigerians will never forgive us. We're conscious of the fact that Nigerians are prepared to give us a second chance. Therefore, we'll do whatever it takes to win this election and to rescue Nigeria. Are you okay with that?
Fine, sir.
Well, Elder Ogidi, I'm not sure that I am, because it's all sounding like semantics. Crisis, differences, interests.
No.
There is some kind of a rift. And there's a problem right now with the calls for the defenestration of your national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, which he perhaps has not helped by not wading into the matter. You'll recall that he was accused initially of misspeaking when he declared Governor Tambuwal as the hero of the convention. And now he has waded into the fray by exchanging words, by bickering with the governor of Rivers State, Wike. What would you like to say about that? What advice would you give to him right now, given that his position might be quite precarious, with people calling for him to lose his position?
His position is not precarious at all. His position is not threatened. You see, the People's Democratic Party, by its name, is democratic. And we have what you call, we have our rules and regulation. And you see, what people say, when you say the chairman must leave, there are a lot of things involved. You know, you remember when there was pressure that the secondary should leave. You saw how this thing threatened the party. And but thank God we went out of it. We have always seen this kind of situation. The party has gone through all. This one is an aside as far as I'm concerned, because not an issue, just about interest. Governor Wike and the other governors with him, they're looking after their interests. But we are looking at the larger interest, which is Nigeria. And I'm very sure they'll come in line. So don't let it bother you. Yes, we are bothered. I agree with you. It's not going to be a walk in the park. To be honest with you, it's not going to be a walk in the park. But we are determined to rescue Nigeria. And on top of that, we also have to be sure, and we have to be very careful, because we don't want to lose anybody. We made that mistake 2014, 2015, and said, let them go. We saw the consequences. We're not going to let anybody go. But when it becomes obvious that the person wants to go, after trying to restrain the person, they will let go. But I have not got into that. It has not. But you see, I'm very happy Nigerians are very worried. Shows that they want to give us a second chance. This bickering, this comment, is unfortunate. that Governor Wike, as his commissioning project, is hitting on us. That tells you how pain is. But don't worry. You see, if you are treating an ailment, if it doesn't cure from the inside, there'll be pus in the wound. So don't worry. We're in the process.
Okay.
All this one that he's talking is also helping him psychologically. I know it psychologically. It's helping him to heal his internal pains. After this time, you see the other Wike. And I believe that. I don't think, yes, out of my noise, I want to do this, I want to do this. No. There's nothing they can do.
Elder Ogidi.
We're all in the hands of God.
Elder Ogidi,
Yes,
a lot of people are saying probably you're not reading the papers as regards how much destruction has got into the PDP, how the cancer has festered, and the PDP is on its way to destruction. Governor Wike has been speaking.
No.
And he reacted, hang on a minute, please, sir. He reacted to the words of your party chairman when he called some people children. Although your party chairman said he didn't say that, but there were indications, across board in the media that he said that on a platform. And Governor Wike said, we should remind your party chairman, Yocha Ayu, that the children, him saying now, and the boys that he said yesterday, the likes of Autumn, Sheyi Makinde, brought Yocha Ayu to power. And he also said that all of a sudden, after bringing in Yocha Ayu, that they can still take him to the gutter because they were the ones that brought him there. He further said that the reason why Yocha Ayu is doing all of this is because of 114 billion that was made from sales on the primary process and all of that. And he said a lot of things. And these things, a lot of people say is a point of no return for your party. That admits it, this is not the time to be hopeful. Your party has lost Governor Wike already, and it will affect the PDP's chances. What do you say about all of this?
You see, the sale of form, let me explain something to you. The sale of form is not Dr. Ayu's personal money. No. The NEC, we're going to meet again on Thursday, yes? The NEC gave approval for all the expenditure of NWC. No single individual can spend $1 of the party without the NEC authorization. The NWC is carrying out the functions as approved by the NEC. The sale of form was approved. The amount for the forms were approved by NEC. So no one individual can spend that money. It's not possible. Because you see, look, INEC, we have to audit our account for your information. We have auditors and we have external auditors. So, when somebody is annoyed, they will say all kinds of things. Governor Wike and others, they know in their mind that ₦1 cannot be disbursed by anybody in the party without the authorization of NEC. So I agree, people are saying what they are saying. Sometimes in ignorance, yes. In ignorance, you can believe whatever you want to believe. But the truth of the matter is, I was also in the NWC. We never, during our time, I think we made sales of about 10 billion. What did we do? We paid off salaries of staff, retirement, and so on. We also contributed to the national campaign. So, what are we talking about? I agree, people are anxious, people are saying this, there's movement from APC to PDP to APC. They will definitely be under this movement. But from October the 1st, we will start seeing the direction. But I want to make myself clear. You will see the direction.
Hello, Elder Ogidi. Well, one of the allegations by Governor Nyesom Wike is that the PDP has already shared positions ahead of the election. Is that how it works? And that even those positions that have been shared, they are over-concentrated in the north? I mean, an election that has not taken place, is it true that the PDP leadership has already shared positions? Wouldn't that be presumptuous on the part of the PDP leadership? And could the problem be that Wike and his allies have not been given their fair share of those positions?
When you see the NWC proposes all of these things, and it will be brought to NEC, no position has been given to any person yet apart from the spokespersons of Atiku Abubakar. All of us were brought to the table. But let me ask a question. You know, for some time now, Wike's camp has refused to be communicated with. You know that. But that doesn't mean to say we don't know the importance of his group. They'll be there. He will make their nomination. You see, even those aspirants who did not make it, they will be considered. Their nominations will be there. So it's not true that they have shared position. No, we can't share. What position are we talking about now? The only thing that's going to be on the table is the campaign council. Position cannot be shared until after the general election. I would like to make this one clear. What happens normally, and which is also going to happen now, after the election in February, and by the grace of God we will win, then we will now set up a team that will now share these things out among the 6 zones. And then the 6 zones will on their own sub-zone again, subdivide and share. That's how it is done. So please, let's not, why don't we wait until after the next meeting and see whether somebody will be excluded. But you know, sometimes, you remember, when some of them don't attend, you say, oh, they are against it. But no, I hope they will attend. So whatever the lopsidedness that you see, sometimes when they bring out some of these documentations, when we're not satisfied, we make contributions there. That's how it is done. So I'm being too long inside this business to not to be carried away by sharing with position. The only position that is there now is that we have our candidate, Atiku Abubakar, his vice, Ifeanyi. That is the one that's on the table now. Then we're going to go into the campaign council. How we are going to share the campaign council will be agreed on, approved by NEC before you can implement. That's the rule. NWC cannot approve it. It is the NEC that approves, NWC will implement. So I'd like to make that clarification. Unify, are you okay with that? Or Ruben?
Tunu?
Right. You're up against the formidable ruling party, the APC. The much vaunted third force has finally materialized, especially with the Labour Party making inroads into traditional PDP strongholds. Can PDP actually win in 2023 at this rate without Governor Wike and his supporters, assuming, of course, that this situation is as intractable as it appears now?
You see, I told you that group is still bitter with us. And we are making efforts to reduce that bitterness. And we believe that they will change their position soon. With regards to APC and Labour Party, I don't really want to discuss them. We would like to follow through our plan. But at the same time, we remember they're on the wings. Right now, I can tell you this. APC and Labour, they are on the wings. We're focused on where we're going, and we believe we're going to win that election. And that's what we're driving. Take into consideration that, yes, they're contenders. So don't think that we're saying they're contenders. Formidable, yes. But we're focused, and I believe that by the grace of God, we're going to win it. Because we genuinely want to rescue Nigeria. Because if you start remembering what APC is doing, I don't want to recall it. I don't want to spoil my day. You know what I mean. When they lie, look at it. Richard was said by end of this month, you don't have CPU. Well, yeah, you know it's not possible. So, as far as we're concerned, these two groups are aside. We want to remain focused. We are determined, and by the grace of God, we are going to rescue Nigeria.
Part of the problem started because there was a strong leaning towards a southern president. Then your presidential candidate got the ticket after your party decided to throw it open as against your normal zoning. A lot of people felt betrayed. not only Wike, even the likes of Governor Ayo Fayoshe, who's also a prominent part of your party, he has taken his side already. And Governor Wike keeps talking about the Southern presidency. And he has met with 2 Southern presidential candidates in the frame of Peter Obi and the likes. He has made it known that this is where he's going. One, do you think it was fair for the PDP to go the way it went by throwing it open, knowing that it would definitely favor a northern candidate? And secondly, what do you think will placate a Governor Wike that has already met with 2 southern candidates and he keeps talking about a southern presidency?
Refine. I told you I'm a party man. Once the neck decides on something, I don't want to have a minority opinion on it. The neck met several and took a decision to throw it open. We had a well-conducted primaries, and all the aspirants admitted that it was fairly done. As far as I'm concerned, we have passed that. We can't go back to that. Please. We don't want to start. You want to reverse yourself now? How? It's too late. That's why I said we want to manage everybody. We know the bitterness is strong, but nobody has died. So it will be resolved. We have passed that stage. We have our candidates. It may be imperfect, but we have to roll with it.
Your party chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, Elder, do you think your party chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, should have said that Tambawa was the hero of the primaries? Do you think that word should have been something that would have been muttered out there?
He must have had his reason by saying that. He may have had his reason. But you see, I would look at big pictures. I don't know. That's me. You see, growing up, because of the way I was brought up, I was taught that unless you see beauty in a thing, you can never see beauty in it. I will look for the beauty in anything. As far as I'm concerned, I've gone past that. I don't know. Well, it's human. Like I keep telling you, Wike is human. He has blood flowing through his body. And there are people who are not happy, yes. And they'll keep fanning the embers of discord. But we are focused. We will not allow this discord to derail us. The consequences will be there to everybody. So why should we start pursuing that? I think we should go past this. We are grown-ups. Nobody has died. So what is all this? There's future. The future is bright. So let nobody look at it now. Yes, it's hazy. I agree. Like what did that position say? I can see clearly now the rain is gone. The rain is gone, so we should see clearly. As far as we are concerned in PDP, we are focused, we are determined to rescue Nigeria. Comment from 1 or 2 people, okay. But please always look at the next decision. The next decision is paramount. And that is what I say, bind it all. Individuals may say 1 or 2 things, but it's a next decision that is paramount. I will plead with our members. The NEC has taken a position. We have gone with the primaries. We have our candidate. We have submitted. And we all know that these candidates are very good. Atiku has the experience. Okotu has the experience. So let's run with that. So permit me to advise all those today who are trying to find the embers of discord. Please drop it. The project ahead of us is not a walk in the park. We need to struggle. We need to work hard. Thank you.
Well, Elder, quickly. I know maybe you are reluctant to talk about the APC, but last week, at the unveiling of the Tinubu Shetima door-to-door campaign program, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was quoted as having said that the PDP is a poverty development party, PDP. And that he really wonders why the party is still existing, and that the PDP is not equal to the APC. Is PDP planning poverty development for Nigerians, as alleged by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Now, you see, if you look at the 13 states that today currently our governors are in charge, you see all the development has tried. You know, when the man is not doing well, we always abuse it about. You know, APC promised a lot of things. You know it. They promised that as soon as they come into power, the insecurity situation will be addressed. This is 7 years plus. They promised that they will create jobs. This is 7 years past. They promised power. This is 7 years past. All they have promised, they have failed. What do you expect from a failure? Granted. I don't want to talk about them because I don't want to spoil my day. We all know, even the unborn babies know that APC has destroyed this country. PDP brought us out of poverty. Look at what APC has done. Taking us back to what age? I don't know how to describe the age. So, but I believe that we're going to have an equivalent tax to remedy all of this destroyed economy, destroyed trust. We don't trust ourselves anymore. All this bloodletting. No. So I know why they are saying all of these things. But Nigerians know better that they failed. It's only, you know, in those days when you fail, you pass through the back door. But in Nigeria today, people are so shameless. They come through the front door. I don't know. What are they going to campaign with? And they've done what? No. So just look at what he said as the comment of a failure.
Right, but if APC is such a failure, why then is PDP allowing comparatively petty, minor issues get in the way of their cohesion if PDP is really as determined as is touted to rescue Nigeria? Why can't people put their selfish agendas aside?
No. You see, everybody knows the next government will be formed by PDP. That's why everybody's rushing to it. So when you see all this bickering, it's for positioning. We know that. That's why you see what is going on. It's for positioning. But I can tell you this. The most important thing behind our back today is to rescue Nigeria. Whatever benefit you want to get, even sitting in the comfort of your home, you will get it. That's the point we're trying to make. But some people don't want to sit in the comfort of to get that. They want to go to the front of the vehicle. That's what success is about. You know, they say that once a family is successful, even though you don't like it, people start praising you. So it's the success story that is creating all of this. If PDP was not going to win, nobody will mention it. So we understand that very well. Tundu, we understand that very well. And I want to thank you for all of these questions. It will help, it will remind us to be focused. All this thing you're doing, it reminds us to be focused and to deal with the issues. Because we have said we want to unify Nigeria. So we're also being very careful. We don't want Nigerians to think that we're not capable of unifying Nigeria. And we don't want Nigerians to think that we are violent. No. Wow. Even when you throw violence at us, we'll introduce peace into it. That's how we're structured. We're peaceful, we're focused.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you very much, Emmanuel Ogidi, for joining us on the morning show today.